Good morning, team. There are news that China is opening up their economy, which is very positive because Indian trade with China is also very high. Due to which Maruti in their exchange notification has mentioned that production for November 2022, no, there was not a major shortage, there was a minor shortage, but they are saying December 22, the production will have, it will not be up to the mark due to electronic component shortage. It is because of the Chinese lockdown. So, even if China opens up, the commodity or the components to come back to India will take 45 days minimum. So I think this is a small problem. So this is why auto stocks have started to correct. Now, after a very good November 22 number, Hindustan Aeronautics in a statement said the income tax refund of 424 crores and interest of 176 crores they have got. That is almost 602 crores, which is 11% of their net profit last year. Ashoka Bilcon, they got a letter of acceptance for 6-lane elevated corridor in Kerala in EPC mode, 1,668. We need to understand we are a bit positive on the infrastructure stock as the economy is, we have the budget which will be announced in next 2 months. In that, we like PNC Infra, PSP Project, HC Infra. These are few stocks which we like. We like Apollo Tire. Tire companies, NCLT has dismissed the case. So we like Apollo Tire, SBI Life, ICICI Pru Life, Blue Dart, NHP, NHPC, Mahindra Holiday Resorts, Tata Power. A few more stocks. Amul cheese. There was one article which I read. And I checked it online also. Today, if you go and to Big Basket or DMart or any online shopping, you are not getting ghee or any paneer cheese of Amul or few other milk producers. And the reason is, the Diwali season, a lot of milk was used, so they don't have milk to produce paneer cheese or your ghee. But the other thing is, there was the disease, which was spreading, some skin disease which was spreading in cow. Because of that, even milk productivity was down. So I think, milk companies can perform, but we don't have coverage on any of the dairy product stock. Hudson Agro is there, Heritage Food is there. There are few other things, but we don't cover anything. Rural FMCG demand has dipped by 17% in November, month-on-month basis. It is not due to festival season, but there is a rural distress. That is what the data is saying. Prince Pipe and Fitting announced launch of 2 products, new world-class plumbing and drainage solution, and safe premium polypropylene silent drainage system, and Prince Hurricane, a modern range of surface drainage solution. So these pipe companies also will be in focus. State Bank of India, they have raised 10,000 crores at a coupon rate of 7.51 for 10-year period, which was higher by 17 BPS than the GSET. So they got a bid for 16,366 crores. So there is a huge demand for, from the retail segment for bond issues. I think SBI will be using this in a maximum way. Property registration in Maharashtra has been very good. They have achieved a target of 78% by November end. With that, over to you, Kshitija.
थैंक यू सर. गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन. हम इस कॉल को एक बार हिंदी में कर लेते हैं. स्टार्ट करेंगे. जैसे हम देख रहे हैं चाइना की इकोनॉमी ओपन हो रही है, तो इससे बेनिफिट रहेगा इंडो चाइना के जो ट्रेड रिलेशंस उससे. सेकेंडली, अभी जो लॉकडाउन चल रहा था उसके चलते हम देखे जाएंगे तो जो मारुति ने कहा है अच्छी नोटिफिकेशन थ्रू कि उनकी जो प्रोडक्शन नंबर्स थे ना तो उसमें थोड़े से माइनर शॉर्टेजेस है नवंबर में, बट दिसंबर में कहते हैं वो थोड़े अक्टूबर में मार्च में देंगे शॉर्टेजेस बढ़ सकते हैं। इसका मेन रीजन वो चाइनीज लॉकडाउन पे लगा रहे क्योंकि वहां से जो इलेक्ट्रिकल पार्ट्स आते हैं उसको उसके चलते, और अभी जैसे इकोनॉमी ओपन भी हो रही है जो कमोडिटीज वापस आने के लिए या इन ट्रैक पे आने के लिए उनको मिनिमम 45 डेज लगेगा। इसके चलते हमने देखा ऑटो स्टॉक्स भी करेक्ट हो रहे थे। नेक्स्ट हम देखेंगे नवंबर 22 में एचएल को आईटीआर रिफंड मिला है 424 करोड़ का और 176 करोड़ का, तो टोटल देखेंगे तो 602 करोड़ का रिफंड है, जो कि देखा जाए तो इनके लास्ट ईयर के प्रॉफिट से देखें तो 11% ऑफ द टोटल प्रॉफिट है। अशोक बिल्डकॉन एक 6 लेन का हाईवे डेवलप करना, इनको एलओए मिल चुका है, इनको उसका मिल चुका है, केरला में वो बना रहे हैं। 168 करोड़ का ये प्रोजेक्ट है। बजट से भी हम देखा जाए तो इकोनॉमी और बजट के रूप में भी देखा जाए तो ये ज्यादा फोकस रहेगा इसी के ऊपर। हमें इस सेक्टर में देखना है तो पीएसपी प्रोजेक्ट, एचजी इंफ्रा जैसे स्टॉक्स में देख सकते हैं। सेकेंडली हमें टायर स्पेस भी अच्छा लग रहा है तो उसमें हम अपोलो टायर्स पे फोकस कर सकते हैं। एसबीआई लाइफ भी अच्छा है, आईसीआईसीआई ब्लू लाइफ, एनएचपीसी, ब्लू डार्ट, एमएचआरआई, टाटा पावर जैसे स्टॉक्स पे भी हम फोकस कर सकते हैं। एक हमने न्यूज देखा था कि अमूल चीज में देखा जाए तो उनके शेल्फ से कम दिख रहा है, क्योंकि रीजन ये था कि जो गाय के अंदर एक बीमारी आ गई थी, स्किन की जो लंपी वायरस लगी थी, उसके चलते प्रोडक्शन में भी हमें डिले देखा गया था। और इसके चलते ये स्टॉक्स में हमें थोड़ा सा देख सकता है क्योंकि मिल्क की शॉर्टेज चल रही है। तो पनीर, चीज और घी ये सब आइटम्स में हमें थोड़ी सी इसमें हमें प्राइस राइज भी दिखे थे क्योंकि ये शॉर्टेजेस के चलते। रूरल एफएमसीजी में देखा था 17% नवंबर मंथ्स में देखा गया और नवंबर मंथ्स में जम देखा गया। प्रिंस पाइप एंड फिटिंग को भी एक वर्ल्ड क्लास फैसिलिटी रहेगा जो कि पॉलीप्रोपिलीन रहेगा, बेसिकली सरफेस टू ड्रेन सॉल्यूशंस में काम करेगा। एसबीआई ने 10,000 करोड़ जुटा लिए हैं 7.51% के इस पे, और ये 10 ईयर जो है इनका 10 ईयर पीरियड के लिए और 17 बेसिस पॉइंट का हमें जम देखा गया G6 में, और 16,367 करोड़ का टोटल इन्हें सब्सक्रिप्शन मिला है और सब्सक्रिप्शन मिला। सो डिमांड देखी जाए तो रिटेल की साइड से अच्छी है और यूज डिमांड दिख रही है तो एलआईसी हमें लगता है बहुत अच्छे से इसे ये करेंगे। प्रॉपर्टी रजिस्ट्रेशन में देखा जाए तो 78% की हमें ग्रोथ देखी गई मंथ ऑन मंथ। नेक्स्ट अभी हम और अपडेट देखेंगे, जैसे हमने अभी मंथली सेक्टोरल रिपोर्ट हमारी जो स्ट्रेटेजी का कैपिटल मार्केट उससे रिलीज किया गया। इंडियन इंडाइसेस लगते हैं हमने आउट परफॉर्म करेंगे ग्लोबल से 4% मंथ ऑन मंथ पे और अपने ऑल टाइम हाई के आसपास ही चल रहे हैं। सेकेंडली अभी हमें इवेंट जो है वॉच करने के लिए जो कि आरबीआई पॉलिसी, स्टेट इलेक्शन रिजल्ट्स आते हुए दिख रहे हैं और एक्सपेक्टेशंस क्या रहेगा यूनियन बजट से। अगर हम इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी भी देखा जाए तो पीएमआई सर्विस इंडेक्स लिटरली था 50% थ्रेशोल्ड जो अपने 15 के आसपास है। अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट देखा जाए तो जो 15 साल से ऊपर के वो 7% डिक्लाइन हुई है Q2 FY23 की, जो कि पहले 10% थी। सो थोड़ा सा ये अपटिक रहेगा इकोनॉमी में और ये अच्छा रह सकता है। इसी कंसेंसस के साथ जो हमारी स्टॉक्स हमें अच्छे लग रहे हैं जैसे अल्ट्राटेक सीमेंट, चोलामंडलम फाइनेंस, बाटा इंडिया, कजारिया सेरामिक, सिटी यूनियन बैंक, पीएनसी इंफ्राटेक, जिनसा टेक्नोलॉजी, सफारी इंडस्ट्रीज, और हमने एक नया जो आईसी रिलीज किया है न्यूजन सॉफ्टवेयर। ये स्टॉक्स में फोकस करना चाहिए। पीवीआर ने अनाउंस किया अपना मल्टीप्लेक्स ओपन करने के लिए यमुनानगर में। ये मल्टीप्लेक्स रहेगा 3 रील्स का, टोटल कैपेसिटी रहेगी 590 पीपल्स की, और ओवरऑल ये नेक्स्ट क्वार्टर में पीवीआर अभी और प्लान कर रहा है 20 मोर स्क्रीन ऐड करने के लिए, तो टोटल 35 स्क्रीन एक क्वार्टर में ऐड करेगा। इंडियन स्टील्स की भी हमें प्रोडक्शन देखा जाए तो डेटा देखा जाए 1% मंथ ऑन मंथ फ्लैट थे। बेसिकली जो ग्लोबल सेंटीमेंट थे वो स्लगिश थे। चाइनीज स्टील प्राइस भी देखा 5% से मंथ ऑन मंथ में फॉल होते हुए देखा गया। कोकल कोल प्राइसेस भी 22% फॉल हुआ जो कि $229 पर टन है। अक्टूबर में देखा जाए तो ग्लोबल स्टील प्रोडक्शन भी 3% से फॉल हुआ जो कि 147 पर मिलियन टन है। और ओवरऑल अगर हम आउटलुक देखा जाए तो आउटपुट में जो हाँ आउटपुट ग्रू का जो हुआ है मंथ ऑन मंथ पे जो कि 10.5 मिलियन टन का है। सो जो आउटलुक देखा जाए तो मीडियम टर्म में थोड़ा वीक ही दिख रहा है स्टील कंपनीज के लिए। चाइनीज एचआरसी जो है वो भी 18% से फॉल हुई है, और अगर 7-6 मंथ्स में देखा जाए तो 7% से भी वो गिरी है। So, हमने सैटरडे एनालिस्ट मीट अटेंड किया था आईसीआईसीआई बैंक का, जिसने हाईलाइट किया था कि बैंक अपनी लेवरेज कर रही है टेक्नोलॉजी को, जो कि नेक्स्ट लो ग्रोथ ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए ड्राइव कर रही है। बैंक अपने तरफ से काम भी कर रही है कि कस्टमर जर्नी और थोड़ी बहुत चेंजेस भी कर रहा है, तो कस्टमर एक्सपीरियंस के ऊपर उनका ज्यादा फोकस है, और जो उनका जो टर्न अराउंड टाइम है उसकी जो लाइफ साइकिल उसको एकदम शॉर्टन अप करने के लिए। सो इसीलिए उन्होंने एक वन अप स्ट्रेटेजी को अडॉप्ट किया है। इसमें एक ही ऐप से सारे कस्टमर्स के एंटायर लाइफ साइकिल और एक आरएमबी असाइन किया जाएगा सारे मेंबर्स के लिए। और बिजनेस सेंटर्स को भी देखा जाए तो बैंक अपने जो फुल बैंक कस्टमर्स को वो डीप ड्राइव कर रहे हैं एंगेजमेंट और उनको सोल्यूशन भी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं कस्टमर क्रॉस के लिए। अल्ट्राटेक सीमेंट ने कमीशन किया अपना 1.8 MTPA का ग्रीनफील्ड ग्राइंडिंग कैपेसिटी रहेगा धुले ग्राइंडिंग यूनिट में महाराष्ट्र में, और ये ब्राउनफील्ड रहेगा क्लिंकर बेस्ड प्रोसेसिंग ग्राइंडिंग जो कि धार सीमेंट वर्क्स है मध्य प्रदेश में। आयन एक्सचेंज को भी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मिला है 343.6 करोड़ का जो आईओसी से है, बेसिकली डिजाइन इंजीनियरिंग मैन्युफैक्चर और सप्लाई इरेक्ट करेंगे इनकी जो पानीपत फैसिलिटी रिफाइनरी के लिए। एमएनएन की भी प्री प्रोविजन नंबर्स आए देखा जाए तो बिजनेस अपडेट देखा जाए तो कंपनी ने 75% प्राइस देखा गया जो कि 4,500 करोड़ का है। कलेक्शन एफिशिएंसी भी इंप्रूव हुई है जो कि 96% है जो कि पहले 94% थी। राइट्स के लिए थोड़ी सी नेगेटिव इशू न्यूज है जो कि इनकी जो क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस के लिए है। पहले जो राइट्स था इनकी जो क्वालिटी एश्योरेंस से 12% कंट्रीब्यूट होता था रेवेन्यू में और अब्ज्यूम करता था 50% मार्जिन के लिए कंट्रीब्यूट होता था, बट अभी रेलवे ऑफिशियल ने इसे भी नॉमिनेशन बेसिस पे कर दिया और जो अभी जो टेंडर बेसिस पे जो 1/5 है करंट रेट के लिए, और ये एक ओवरऑल की सेंटिमेंटली नेगेटिव न्यूज रहेगी राइट्स के लिए। अभी हम नेक्स्ट न्यूज में देखेंगे स्पाइसजेट ने रेज करा है 200 मिलियन और एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा है इम्प्रूवमेंट अपने ऑपरेशंस को रिस्ट्रक्चर करने के लिए बाय नेक्स्ट ईयर के लिए। वेदांता एक टॉक्स में है जो क्लस्टर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक क्लस्टर सेटअप करने के लिए ओडिशा में, और ये मैन्युफैक्चरिंग इंडिया और एड करेगा इंडस्ट्रीज एल्यूमिनियम के लिए सेमीकंडक्टर और ग्लास।
Technical and derivatives outlook. So we start with Nifty. So during the last week, we saw that Nifty made an all-time high at 18,887, and then there was a profit booking which took the Nifty lower till 18,639 level. Overall, in the Friday session, the index was down by 116 points, and Nifty closed at 18,696. Mainly, the auto was the max loser, which was more than 1%, while FMCG and financial services ended marginally lower. The pockets of strength were seen in realty, metals, and the PSU banks. So the overall, the bias for the Nifty is positive. We were speaking of the profit booking for the during the week in the last session, so which we have seen. So we believe that at the lower side, again 18,500, 18,400 will be the lower side demand zone. And whenever we see this level, again, the buying should be seen. That is the view. Higher side, so the largely 18,500 to 19,500, this is the range for the Nifty. So whenever it comes to 18,500, stock specific buy can be seen. Coming to Bank Nifty, the close was 43,103. And the previous week we said that if 43,000 levels are broken, then there will be some loss of momentum, which can see some 500 points kind of fall in the Bank Nifty. So during the day there was a dip, but then again the Bank Nifty sustained over 43,000 and it closed above that. So we continue to maintain the same view. So as long as 43,000 levels are held, the Bank Nifty looks it is in a positive trend. Only if 43,000 levels are broken, there will be a little bit of loss of momentum. But having said this, the bias from the larger point of view is very strongly bullish. So the range for the Bank Nifty is 42,500 and 44,500 for the week. So the counters like SBI, Canara Bank, and Axis are showing strength. So we do believe these are the counter will be keep showing strength during the week also. So coming to the derivatives data, in Friday we saw the long unwinding in the Nifty, which was a decrease in open interest by 6.64%, and this was a reduction of 9.34 lakh shares. The PCR has now dipped below one ratio at 0.94 levels. So this little bit of concern. The major additions were seen at 19,000 call options by 88.55 million shares and 18,800 call options by 80.61 million shares. On the put front option, 18,700 put by 43.53 million shares and 18,600 put options by 40.89 million shares. Coming to Bank Nifty, even the Bank Nifty has seen a long unwinding to the tune of 1.85%, which is a decrease in shares by 5.76 thousand shares. The PCR is also now below one ratios at 0.81. This is also a little bit of concern. The major additions were seen in 43,000 put options by 27.18 million shares and same 43,000 call options by 30.56 million shares. So basically the 43,000 levels remain the key level to watch. The major three long build-ups were seen in UBL, VDL, L&T Finance, and the short positions were seen in Asia Motors, Sun TV, and Syngene. So coming to the sector specific, during the last week, auto was something which we see in profit booking. So we will have a little bit of cautious in auto and then the consumer durable. And the positive sectors to watch for the week is PSE, public sector. So within that, BPCL, IOC, and SAIL are looking positive. And then the metal sector. So APL, Apollo, Hindalco, SAIL, and Tata Steels are looking positive on charts from the weekly point of view. And then Realty. So DLF, Oberoi Realty, and Prestige. Yes, these are the counters which are looking very strong on weekly charts. So we will have a positive view. Now, since the large cap have performed, we believe now it's a mid caps are showing strength. So few stocks like APL, Apollo, Coforge, Cummins India, Gujarat Gas, Oberoi Realty, Kajaria Ceramics. These are the few stocks which are looking very positive on charts. So this has to be kept in the watch list. Lastly, the FI data. So FIs in the index, they are sold 41,000 contracts, and so their net as on last day before, like on Friday, on Thursday's data was 1 lakh contracts long. They are now come to 55,000 contracts. So we need to keep a watch on this. Even the long short ratio from 75 it has come to 65. We'll keep a watch. So as long as the ratio is above 50, we are in a safe zone. Again, anytime the buying can pick up. So FIS had sold their positions on Friday, so we'll be a little bit cautious. We are having a range bound view. Lowers at 18,500 will be the support, and Bank Nifty will keep a watch. If 43,000 is broken, then there will be a loss of momentum. So that's all from my. I'll hand over to Vishal sir for more research updates.
Yeah, good morning, team. Good morning, sir. So to start off with, we have released our monthly note on strategy capital market. So overall, I mean, what we are saying in the note is like, globally market has been on an up move, and this is the second month of November where we have seen a continuation of it. A couple of indices, which just to highlight, S&P was up by 8% in the month of October. It was further up by 5%. This is basically led by the expectation that the peak in the rate hike cycle is now near, and that has led to positivity. In Indian market, if you look at Indian Nifty was up by 4% in the month of November, and it's all trading at all-time high. Indian outperformance is supported by overall weakness is commodities, and FPIs, they were buyer for the second consecutive month in the month of November. For the continuation of it, I think we highlight in the note that a couple of triggers or catalysts to be watched is one is state election result, which is in this particular week, and then there is expectation from the budget, and then further RBI policy in terms of globally we are seeing a softness in terms of how the regulator are talking in terms of increasing rates. So that things to be watched, how exactly the RBI see for India. So overall, I mean, if you look at the note, we have given our topics. We have a preference for Ultratech Cement, Cholamandalam Finance, Bata, Kajaria Ceramic, City Union. In terms of mid and small, probably a small cap, we have PNC Infratech, Safari, Gensar, and the new IC, which is of Newgen Software, where we have a positive view. Next, coming on a couple of news flow, Ultratech Cement has announced the commissioning of 1.8 million ton capacity in Maharashtra, and they have again announced clinker capacity commissioning. If you look at from a stock point of view, the company has already been commissioning capacity, and they at the end of first half, which is September, they have closed the capacity at an all India level of around 116 million ton, and further in this particular second half, they are targeting to around 15 million ton. So they have commissioned around 1.3 million ton in the Q3, and further commissioning will be pretty strong. We maintain our positive and buy rating on Ultratech Cement. Next is on which is a negative news flow on the rights. So quality assurance, which contribute around 12% to its revenue and around 30% to its PAT. So as per the Railway Ministry official, they have commenced competitive bidding even in this space. So what it means is like, earlier this rights used to get this order on this work on a nomination basis. Now again, like, private or other entities they're entering, and the new rate which they have got it in this particular bidding is 1/5 of what our rights used to charge. So I mean, overall it's negative for rights in terms of the numbers probably, like, this company will report in the coming quarter and year. Next is on PVR. So PVR has announced an opening up of multiplexes in Yamunanagar. This is basically 3-screen and total seating capacity of 590. Company, I mean, if you look at it has opened 44 odd screen in this particular fiscal, and they plans to add 20 more screen in this quarter, another 35 in the next quarter. We believe, like, PVR is in well part to achieve its target to add around 100 screens in this financial year. We maintain our positive view and a buy rating on the stock with a target price of 2,100. Next, we have released our monthly note on steel cement prices. And if you look at steel prices, remain flattish as globally the sentiment remains sluggish, particularly on a commodity front. Though equity market, they have been moving up. The Chinese steel prices fell by around 5% on month-on-month basis. And if you look at from a demand of the production point of view, the globally steel production fell by around 3% month-on-month basis, while Chinese steel production fell by around 9%. The immediate near-term outlook remain weak for the steel companies, as the Chinese HRC has fallen by around 18%, while domestic prices have fallen by only 7% in this last 6 odd months. There are chances, like, overall, if the recessionary environment picks up, and probably the commodities will see a further weakness. We are maintaining a neutral stance on the steel sector as such. Next, where we have, banking sector. I mean, like, we have attended analyst day, which was hosted by ICICI Bank. I mean, overall, company highlighted various segments which ICICI Bank has. So I mean, like, many of the business head, they have given a presentation, and a company is working towards improving the customer journey by making small changes in this process and to make entire customer experience more simplified. The business centers company highlight, like, in the bank will be full bank to the customer as they drive a deeper customer engagement. Company has created a position of chief data officer for the same, and they have increased its technology spend, which is used to be around 5-6%, and now it is around 9% the technology spend as a percentage of the revenue. Overall, I mean, if you look at we maintain our positive view on the stock, and we believe the company strategy of the investment which they are doing, it is toward the digital and technology advancement. We have our revised target price of 1,260, and we'll be valuing the company on FY25 basis. A couple of other news flows, which is like, Ion Exchange, they have received a contract to do a 343 crore order from IOC. That is like, commissioning of its one of its segment or one of its capex which they are doing in Panipat refinery. This is positive for company. Next, Mahindra & Mahindra has given a business update for the month of November. The company saw disbursement rising by around 75 percentage point on YoY basis, and collection efficiencies has improved. Overall, I mean, if you look at banks and then financial services, the business recovery and the business momentum which was there in the first half, it is even in the month of November, M&M numbers show pretty strong numbers, and they are continuing, which is positive for the full pack, and is positive for M&M financial services. And the last thing from my side is the news flow on C8 and MRF. So NCLT has disposed of all 15 appeals against the CCI order against certain tire manufacturer on a cartelization. I mean, CCI has mentioned, like, there are certain NCLT has said, like, there are certain errors in terms of calculation, which is the CCI has, I mean, like, come out with the in the note. So they have further referred back this particular order to CCI for the further reworking of and come out with the fresh in terms of what could be a penalty of it. So as of now, I mean, though media report highlight that probably things are over, but yes, it is just the file has moved back to CCI. Again, we need to watch, like, how exactly the CCI moved. So the case is still going on in this particular case, in this particular sector, and the stocks are C8 and MRF. Yeah, that's all from my side, and I'll hand it over to the team. Over to you.
Thank you, sir. Good morning, everyone. News update is regarding SpiceJet is looking to raise 200 million. Expect to see improvement in operation and restructuring benefit in the current quarter of this financial year. Power Grid Corporation of India Limited in the process of carving out its telecom vertical to a fully owned subsidiary, Power Grid Teleservices Limited, in a bid to have focused approach. After pulling out money from Indian equities market in the past 2 months, FPIs made a strong comeback in November with a net investment of rupees 36,329 crore on weakening of the US dollar index and positivity about overall macroeconomic trends. Vedanta in talks to set up electronic clusters in Odisha. Vedanta is looking to go beyond manufacturing in India and aid development of user industry for aluminum as well as semiconductor and glass. Relatively, this news is looking good for Vedanta, and Vedanta can create positive basis on this. Lastly, Tata Power CEO and MD Praveer Sinha announced a rupees 6,000 crore capital investment by the company in Odisha, speaking at the Make in Odisha conclave on Thursday. Thank you. Over to you, sir.